Welcome back to the Physiology Pulse. Today's topic is the physiology of pain. So, physiology of pain, itch, and temperature. So, what is pain? It is nothing but your body's alarm system. Okay, it is body's alarm system. Why do we feel the pain? To protect yourself, to protect oneself. We feel the pain. So pain says something is wrong with oneself, something is wrong within your body. So you have to stop it and fix it. Whatever is going on, you have to stop and fix it. So that is what pain is about. Now, types of pain. There are two types of pain, fast pain and slow pain. Now, fast pain, it is nothing but a sharp, bright, and exact spot of pain like a needle prick. Okay, you can feel it instantly. It is carried by A delta fibers. So what are the A delta fibers? They are the fast, thin and myelinated nerves. It has myelinated nerves. Since it has myelinated nerves, it is fast pain. Okay, because the sensory actions and messages are passed very fast in myelinated nerves. It is fast pain. Now, coming to slow pain, what is happening here? It is nothing but a dull, burning and spreading kind of a pain, like a toothache. Okay, it comes late. Like you can have the sharp pains, you can have a prominent pain little late because it starts from very minute pain. Okay, but it lasts longer in duration. Okay, it is carried by C fibers. Now these C fibers contain slow and unmyelinated nerves. Because it is unmyelinated, obviously it will be slow. Messages are passed little delayed in unmyelinated nerves, right? Now, pain pathway. It contains three neuron chains. Remember the DRT, which is dorsal root to the relay in the spinal cord, after which it is the thalamus, DRT, right? Like that, same order. Okay. First neuron. We'll be talking about the first neuron, okay, which is skin or organ. Spinal cord, which is spinal cord, dorsal root ganglion. Next is second neuron, crosses to other side in spinal cord. It will cross to the other side in spinal cord. Goes up via how? Via spinothalamic tract. It goes up via spinothalamic tract and it reaches up to the thalamus. Ultimately, it will reach the thalamus. Now, what is happening in third neuron? From thalamus, it will reach to the cerebral cortex. So cerebral cortex is an area. Now you can feel the pain. From cerebral cortex, you can feel the pain after it reached there. So that is the pain pathway with three neuron chains. First neuron, second neuron, third neuron. Okay. Now gate control theory. Now what is gate control theory? Easy hack you can remember is spinal cord has a gate for pain. Basically, spinal cord has a gate for pain. Okay. If you close the gate, what will happen? Rub the area, touch and the ice pack. Okay, touch fibers blocks the pain fibers. So touch fiber blocks the pain fibers. That's why rubbing a pump helps. Okay, touch fibers will block the pain fibers. Hence, once you rub the area which is touching it or ice pack applying, the bump it helps in it pain fibers. Okay, pain control theory. Okay, next comes the open gate. Now open gate theory, how it will happen? Anxiety and no distraction means, which means you feel more pain. Okay, anxiety and no distraction, which means you can feel more pain. Next is brain control. Brain can send signals down to close the gate during the endorphins, which are the natural painkillers. Your body will release some endorphins, due to which the brain can send signals down to close the gate. Okay, to block the pain fibers basically. Okay, endorphins will help through brain control, which are the natural painkillers. Did you understand the gate control now? Next is referred pain. Referred pain is nothing but the pain felt away from the real problem. Okay. What is the rule here? Basic rule. Heart plus left arm come from same spinal segment. So heart attack pain that is felt in left arm or jaw basically. You remember mostly people say that if at all you have an heart attack, you have a left arm pain. Okay, this which means when you have an heart attack or heart pain, heart stroke, which is that pain is radiated towards your left arm. So that is the referred pain. That is the referred pain. Now easy examples for you is also gallbladder, right shoulder. You have when you have gallbladder stones, then you can see the pain which is radiating towards the right shoulder. Okay, from back to the right shoulder. Next, if you have kidney issues, okay, it is radiated to the loin. Whereas diaphragm issues, you have shoulder tip pain. The referred pain is shoulder tip pain. So this is how you can remember by easy examples. Next comes the visceral pain. After referred pain, it is visceral pain. Visceral from organs basically. Visceral is nothing but from the organs. Now poorly localized dull and cramping pain you have. Okay, visceral pain is nothing but poorly localized. You can't say exactly there you have a pain. You can't pinpoint the pain. Okay, it is dull pain and you have basic cramping kind of pain. Okay, and what are the causes for that? Ischemia, spasm, stretching. Okay, chemicals like acid, any kind of acid, these might be causes for such visceral pain. Okay, next is an itch. Now you need to scratch. Okay, itch is nothing but that urge that you need to scratch that area. That is the signal. Okay, that is called the itch. So what is it? It is an unpleasant feeling that makes you want to scratch. Okay, completely different from the pain. Now receptors here are the special C fibers. In the skin, you have special C fibers in the skin, not same as pain C fibers. Okay, special C fibers are different from that of the pain C fibers. Okay, special C fibers are used for itch. Receptors which are used for itch. So they have free nerve endings as well. Okay, now what are the causes for the itch? Histamine is the most common cause. Histamine, okay, released in allergy or during mosquito bite. Okay, that's why antihistamines help itching. You can remember antihistamines is for anti-allergy and anti-itching medicine which we prescribe. That is for the histamine which is being released in allergies. Okay. Now mechanical. First is histamine. Next is mechanical way cause, which is light touch or wool clothes. Now when a wool clothes and all rough material clothes and all are on your skin, it will that urge of itch can start because the mechanical cause, which is during any clothing or anything which is felt on your skin. Next is bile salts. In jaundice, whole body itch because of the bile salts. Okay, because of the presence of high level of bile salts in the body during the jaundice, the whole body feels itch. Okay. Now the pathway of itch is same as pain. Okay, here, but spinothalamic tract to the thalamus and then to the cortex. After that, same as pain, after which spinothalamic tract it reaches, after that thalamus, and after which it will reach the cortex. Okay, remember itch is nothing but pain's cousin. Both use spinothalamic tract. If you can see here also, pain pathway. You can see second neuron crosses the other side in spinal cord, goes up via spinothalamic tract. After going to spinal thalamic tract, first neuron, skin or organ. Okay. Now itch is also same way from skin. After which it will go, crosses the other side in the spinal cord and goes up via spinothalamic tract, reaches where thalamus. After reaching thalamus, where will it go? It will go to the cerebral cortex. Now after reaching the cerebral cortex, which is cortex, it will feel the itch. Now both use spinothalamic tract. Okay. Now comes the temperature. So temperature is nothing but hot and cold sensors. Okay, receptors here which are used are have the free nerve endings in skin. Okay. Two main types of temperatures you can have here. First is warm receptors and second is cold receptors based on the temperatures. Two main types of nerve endings. Warm receptors they fire best at 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, which is more warmer in nature, right? So they fire best at these high temperatures, 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, whereas cold receptors fire best at 10 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now the extreme temperature causes pain. Cold pain and hot pain. Two types of pain. Cold pain is when it is below 10 degrees Celsius. Freezing burn. You can feel that freezing. Your skin will burn with the extreme freezing conditions, extreme cold conditions. That is cold pain. You will experience that cold pain. Whereas during hot pain, it is when it is more than 50 degrees Celsius, you can experience that burning sensation. Your skin will burn with, due to the hot weather, hot temperature, your skin will burn. So that is burning pain. Now detected by nociceptors, which are the pain receptors. Okay. Now the special receptors here are CMR1 and VR1. Now CMR1 are for the moderate cold, and here what will happen? Menthol activates this. Why mint feels cold? That is why mint feels cold. Okay. Now VR1 is nothing but during the hot weathers, hot temperatures, which is more than 43 degrees Celsius. Right? Now capsaicin in chili activates this. Why chili feels hot? That is why it feels hot. Okay. Next is this is A delta fibers. We already spoke about it. A delta fibers are for cold. C fibers are for warm and hot pain. After which it will go and reach spinothalamic tract, from where it will reach thalamus, and they ultimately reach the cortex. Okay. Now components of pain sensation. So pain has two types of components, which is fast and slow, fast pain and slow pain, right? Now fast pain, first type fast pain, it comes first, which is sharp pricking type of pain, and it has exact location, which is it is localized pain. Okay, like a needle prick, you know where it is instantly. Okay, carried by A delta fibers, which is fast, thin and myelinated. That is what we already talked about. Slow is also same, comes after. First comes the fast pain, then comes the slow pain. It is dull, burning and aching pain. It is easily spread out like a toothache, carried by what? C fibers. And then it is slow and unmyelinated nerves. Now pathways here, pathways of pain are, this is a root pain. Pain takes from the body to the brain. from the body, which is the skin or organ, to the brain. This is the route. So 4 main rules based on where the pain actually starts, from skin and deeper structures. In first we'll be talking about the pain which starts from the skin and deeper structures, okay, which is from skin, muscles, joints, bones, etc. They uses 3 neurons, okay. First, the receptors which are active here are have the free nerve endings, no special structure, they detect the damage. The receptor's job is done. Now the 3 neurons which are used here are the first order neurons. The cell body in dorsal root ganglion, okay, picks up pain from skin, sends to spinal cord. Fast pain fibers, slow pain fibers, 2 pain fibers are there, fast and slow pain in first order neurons. So fast pain fibers are the A delta fibers. They end in the marginal nucleus of the spinal cord. After which the slow pain fibers, what will they do? Which are the C fibers? They end in substantia gelatinosa. Okay. Now the second order neurons, they start in spinal cord. After they end in spinal cord, second order neurons start from the spinal cord. They cross opposite side immediately. Go up via lateral spinothalamic tract. Second order neurons will start from the spinal cord, cross the opposite side immediately and go up via spinothalamic tract, lateral spinothalamic tract, and reach the thalamus. Now the third order neurons, what will they do? From thalamus, they will reach the cerebral cortex. Okay, now you can feel and locate the exact place and place of the pain. This is the 4 main routes based on from skin and deeper structures to the brain, which is cerebral cortex, right? Now, from face, pain from face, mouth and scalp carried by trigeminal nerve, which is fifth cranial nerve, right? It is carried by trigeminal nerve from face, okay? What is the pathway here? From face, it will go to trigeminal ganglion. From trigeminal ganglion, it will reach the brainstem. From where it crosses, again the same thing, it crosses the opposite side and reach the thalamus. Okay? After which it will reach the cortex again. Same thing, only the trigeminal ganglion and all is added here. Okay? Now, from viscera. Now, the third one is from viscera. Pain from internal organs like heart, gut, liver, etc. They are carried by what? They are carried by sympathetic nerves for thorax and abdomen. Okay? Now, vagus plus glossopharyngeal nerve, they are here for esophagus, trachea and pharynx, right? Now, the problem here is it is poorly localized, dull and cramping type of pain. So, because organs have, why will this happen? Because organs have fewer pain receptors, right? It is dull, poorly localized and cramping type of pain. So, it cannot be localized easily due to fewer pain receptors present in the internal organs, right? Now comes the pelvic region. So, pain from deep pelvic organs like bladder, uterus and rectum. So, they are carried by what? They are carried by sacral parasympathetic nerves. They are carried by sacral parasympathetic nerves. Pelvic region. Pain from pelvic region. Okay. Now, in visceral pain, we'll be talking about the visceral pain. Pain from the internal organs featuring, how will it feature? We already talked about it. Dull, diffuse, poorly localized, often causes nausea and sweating because it is coming from the internal organs. Little side effects of that. So, what are the causes? You can remember as cis. Okay. First, C is for chemical stimulation. When there is acid in stomach ulcer, juice from ruptured gut. When there is acid or juice in the stomach or gut, you can have a chemical stimuli due to the chemical actions which are going in your stomach or due to gut rupture. Due to that stimulus, you have pain. Next is ischemia. Ischemia, no blood flow. Example, angina, pain from heart. In this condition, you have the ischemia. You can say ischemic attack as well, right? The same way. Now, spasm. Spasm is nothing but your smooth muscles cramp in the intestine. The cramping pain, right? So, smooth muscles cramp in the intestine. That is the example, okay? Next is stretching or distension, also known as distension. Okay, overfilled bladder is a condition, and intestine block. When there is an intestine block, also you can see the distension, due to which you have a visceral pain. So these are the four causes: cis, which is chemical stimuli, ischemia, spasm, and stretching or distension. Okay. Now, referred pain, we also discussed about it, right? Pain at a site felt from, at a pain is felt different from the site of the actual origin, right? Now, the rule here is dermatomal rule. Pain is referred to skin area that develops from same spinal segment as the organ. So, the spinal segment is same of the skin area and the organ. Okay, easy examples to remember is real site of the pain is what? Heart. But where will you feel? Left arm and jaw. Next, real site of pain is what? Gallbladder, because it has stones. But where can you feel? Right shoulder. Now the real site, what? Diaphragm. You have some condition with the diaphragm. Where can you feel the pain? Shoulder tip. Now kidney is a real site, kidney stones or anything like that. Where can you find the pain? Loin to the groin. Okay. Appendix. Umbilicus first. You can find the pain nearby the umbilicus when there is an appendix issue. Okay. Now the mechanism of the referred pain. Why it happens? Pain fibers from skin and organs converge. They converge on same neuron. They both come to the same neuron on in the spinal cord. Brain get confused and thinks pain comes from the skin because skin pain is more common. Okay, pain fibers from the skin and the organ converge on same neuron. They come to the same neuron on the spinal cord. So what will happen? The brain will get confused. Is the pain coming from the skin directly or the or the organ? Okay. So brain get confused because skin pain is more common. Skin pain is more common. Okay. Now neurotransmitters involved in pain sensation. Chemicals that carry pain signals. You know that fast pain, A delta, slow pain, C fibers. A delta because it releases glutamate. Substance P is released by slow pain C fibers. Okay, these both excite the next neuron and pass the pain signal. That will pass the pain signal to the next neuron. After that, it will just carry forward up. Okay. Now, what is analgesia system? So, body's own pain control system. It is nothing but body's own pain control system. Brain can reduce its own pain, also called as endogenous analgesic system. Endogenous is within the body own, right? So, body has its own pain control system. Brain can reduce its own pain. Okay, how it is? Like how can this happen? Because it releases natural painkillers, like body releases natural painkillers like endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphin. These are the natural painkillers which are released by the body itself. Easily you can remember, which is more known to you, is the endorphins. Okay, next is the analgesic pathway. Now you know what is analgesia. Now analgesia system within the body. Now what is the pathway of that? So descending pathway from brain to spinal cord that blocks the pain. Okay, now route here is from the frontal cortex to the hypothalamus. Okay, from the frontal cortex and hypothalamus, it will go to periaqueductal gray. And then it comes to the nucleus raffimagnus, which finally reaches the spinal cord. So action, what is happening here at spinal cord? It stops the release of the glutamate and substance P. Okay, which are the pain fibers, right? Slow and fast pain fibers. So these two are stopped at the spinal cord. So pain signals doesn't go up. When these two fibers are stopped at, nerves are stopped at spinal cord, it doesn't go up. That is how it is happening. Analgesia is happening. Pain control is happening at spinal cord level itself. Think brain sends a stop message down to close the pain gate. It will close the pain gate. That is what we were talking about. Now gate control theory, we already have an idea. Okay. Spinal cord has a gate in substantia gelatinosa that you know. Pain must pass through this gate to reach the brain. Gate opens when pain fibers stimulate the gate, which is after which only the pain can pass. Now gate closes when touch fibers A delta activates the gate to close. A beta activates the gates to close. Rubbing stops the pain. That is all. That is what we also talked about. Rubbing or ice packs can stop the pain. Brain sends signals via analgesia pathway and closes the gate. Two types of gate closes. First one is rubbing. Okay, normal way. Next is brain sends the signal via analgesia pathway that we have seen, and it closes the gate anyway from the spinal cord itself. Now, easy example, you hit your elbow, you rub it, touch fibers close the gate. Touch fibers. When you rub it, the touch fibers will close the gate. Pain reduces automatically. Okay, that is due to the touch fibers. Now, the applied physiology here is clinical terms you should know are analgesia, that is what we talked about, no pain sensation basically, hyperalgesia and paralgesia. Two conditions. Hyperalgesia, as the name suggests, increased pain sensitivity. Small stimulus also, you have a major pain impact. Okay. Whereas paralgesia, it is abnormal pain sensation. So even somebody touches you, you feel the pain. That is paralgesia, abnormal pain sensation. Okay. So the bottom line here to remember is pain path which has free nerve endings. They all contain the forming the A delta or C fibers, slow and fast fibers basically. They all reach the spinal cord. From there, it will cross to the other side and via the spinothalamic tract, it reaches the thalamus, right? It will cross the opposite path. Via spinothalamic tract, it reaches the thalamus. After which, it will finally reach the cortex. That is the pain pathway. Now, pain control, touch. When you touch and rub, that is one. And brain's endomorphins can close the spinal gate. Brain's endomorphins also we saw this one, brain sends signals via analgesic pathway. That is the brain's endomorphins. That is its own painkillers. Due to these two conditions, you can control the pain. Now, neuropathic pain. Now, what is neuropathic pain? Pain caused by damage to nerves themselves. Not by any injury to skin or muscle, but the nerves themselves, directly to the nerves when it is damaged. Examples, you can say disc slip pressing on the nerve. You can say that you have a disc pain. Why do you have pain? Because the disc slips and it will be touching the nerve, pressing the nerve. When the nerve gets pressed because of the disc slip, you have neuropathic pain, and this may be caused by any spinal cord injury. Now, features here you should remember are hyperesthesia, hyperalgesia, allodynia. Now, hyperesthesia is skin becomes extra sensitive. Light touch feels like pain. Next is hyperalgesia. Small painful stimulus feels much more. Now, small painful stimulus also, hyperalgesia is even a small painful stimulation is also extremely, it gets worse for that person. Next is allodynia. Normal touch feels like pain. Now, normal touch also feels like pain. Like bedsheet touching your skin also, it hurts. All this will happen due to this is because this is nothing but a neuropathic pain when the nerves are damaged. Okay. Now, the treatment for this is normal painkillers don't work here. Doctors use epidural injection, which is medicine plus steroid directly to the spinal cord. Directly to the spinal cord. Now, in severe cases, surgeries like dorsal rhizotomy, severe cases, surgeries like dorsal rhizotomy can be done, which is nothing but cutting the pain nerve root or cordotomy. We'll be talking about cordotomy later, but it is nothing but cutting the pain nerve root. Whatever the root which is causing the pain, that is being cut. Dorsal rhizotomy, the dorsal end. Okay. Now, the cordotomy is nothing but cutting the pain tract in the spinal cord, the whole tract itself. Cordotomy is you're cutting the whole pain tract of in the spinal cord. Okay. Now, the pathway of neuropathic pain is in cold, it is the A delta fibers, warm plus hot pain to C fibers. Both go. Now, the A delta fibers and the C fibers both go via the lateral spinothalamic tract, that you know, after which it will go to thalamus and then reach the cortex. The order, the pathway is almost same for everything, every kind of pain. Okay, itch or temperature, it is almost same. Okay. Now, tic douloureux. What is tic douloureux? It is also called as trigeminal neuralgia. So, what is it? It is a sudden, severe, stabbing face pain like electric shock and lasts for very few seconds basically. So, the cause for this is nothing but trigeminal nerve gets compressed in the brain. When the trigeminal nerve gets compressed in the brain, you can find this trigeminal neuralgia condition. Think of it like a face. It is a face main pain nerve goes crazy and fires without reason. So the main pain nerve which goes crazy and fires without reason, like an electric shock, that is trigeminal neuralgia. Next comes the thalamic syndrome. So what happens here in thalamic syndrome? A patient feels severe burning pain from nothing or from very light touch. Okay, that is thalamic syndrome. What is the cause of thalamic syndrome? Stroke or bleed damages. When there is stroke or bleed damages, the posterior thalamus, brain's main relay station, in the posterior thalamus. If a stroke or bleed damages happen in the posterior thalamus, which is brain's main relay center, you have this condition, thalamic syndrome. Okay. Next, the key point here to remember is pain is felt in the brain. It is felt in the brain. Even though hand or leg is fine, the pain is felt in the brain. No injury to the body, nothing happened to you, but the pain is felt in your brain because of the thalamic syndrome. Your posterior thalamus is damaged. Okay, when it has some stroke or anything, you have this condition, thalamic syndrome. The treatment of this is destroying that part of thalamus by surgery. Destroying, completely removing that part of thalamus by surgery. Now, toothache. Why does teeth hurt so much? Teeth have lots of pain fibers inside the pulp, right? Now the nerve supply is from trigeminal nerve. It has both fast A delta fibers and slow C fibers. Nerve supply, okay, to the tooth. Now normal, what is normal condition here? Enamel and cementum cover and protect the pulp. When enamel and cementum uh, cover and protect the pulp, there is no pain. But pain starts when the enamel breaks due to heat, cold, sweat, drilling, all these conditions and reach the pulp. Now pulp has no touch receptors, only pain receptors. So everything feels like pain. After it reaches the pulp, everything will feel like pain for you. So that is toothache. Now this is the pathway of the pain perception. Okay, we were talking about this. Now can you remember the cortical sites here? Thalamus. So this is the descending modulation which you can see here. This is spinothalamic tract. So you can start from here. Noxious stimulation. This is the noxious stimulation. Okay, you start from here. Noxious stimulation. You touch something sharp or hot. This is called a noxious stimulation. Something that happened that can cause damage to you. Then after that you have transduction. You have transduction. At where? At peripheral nociceptor. Okay, at your fingertip there are nociceptors, which are the pain sensors. They have free nerve endings. Okay, these pain sensors have free nerve endings. So they detect the damage and convert it into an electrical signal. So this step is known as transduction because it connects to the into the electrical signal. Now think of it like a sensor that turns heat into electricity. Heat into electricity. That is transduction which is happening here. Now the transmission along the first order, which is order neuron, which is the electrical signal from here. It travels along the first order neuron into the spinal cord. Into where? Into the spinal cord. Okay. Cell body of the neuron sits in the DRG. This is DRG. Okay. It will sit in the DRG, which is dorsal root ganglion, just outside the spinal cord. Just outside the spinal cord. Synapse in the spinal cord. Now this is synapse. Now this is synapse, right? Synapse in the spinal cord. In the spinal cord, the first neuron hands off the signal to the second neuron at the synapse. So this one, it will hands off to the second neuron. This is the first one, this is the second one. Okay, it will pass it on to the second order neuron at the synapse. Okay, now the second order neuron crosses to the opposite side. From this side, it will cross to the opposite side now of the spinal cord. This is one side. Now this is one side, this is the other side. Okay, it is literally crossing from one side to other side, right? So that is what is happening here. Then it levels up as a spinothalamic tract. Now it levels up as a spinothalamic tract. Okay, this tract carries pain and temperature to the brain, and signal reaches where? It will reach to the thalamus. After it reaches thalamus, which is brain's pain relay center, thalamus sorts all the pain and boosts the signal. It will boost the signal. First it will sort from this, it will stop. It will sort and it will boost. It will spread. Okay. Now the cortical sites. So cortical sites are the sites where you can feel the pain. So thalamus sends pain to the cortical sites, different parts of brain cortex. Now you actually feel pain, know where it is and how bad it is. All the details you can know because of the cortical sites. Okay. Thalamus will send to the cortical sites of the brain cortex. Now here what is happening is the descending modulation. So what is descending modulation which is taking place here? It is that the brain doesn't just relieve the pain, but it also sends signals down to the spinal cord. It will again send the signals down to the spinal cord to control the pain. This is the descending modulation. Your brain's built-in painkillers, endomorphins, example, right? So that is why distraction, stress, or drugs can reduce the pain. All these things can reduce the pain. Okay, descending modulation is nothing but from the thalamus, it is sending back to the spinal cord. The body's own painkillers, endomorphins, are sending down to spinal cord to control the pain. That is descending modulation. So easy way to remember: first, injury happens here. After that, nociceptor. This is nociceptor. After that, it will go to through the first neuron, transmission along first neuron. After which, it will reach to the spinal cord, crosses. Second neuron will take it up. Spinothalamic tract will take over. After that, it will reach the thalamus, and then finally it will reach the cortex, brain cortex, where you can feel the pain, which are the cortical sites. So that is pathway of perception of pain for you. Thank you.